Welcome to the Explainer. Look, right now the technology world is caught in this massive, strange, and incredibly expensive paradox. AI models are smarter than ever, and enterprises are literally pouring millions into them. Every boardroom conversation is just packed with buzzwords, right? Automation, copilots, agents, LLMs. Yet, somehow, things are completely stalling out on the ground. So, here's the billion-dollar question. Why are millions in enterprise AI investments failing somewhere between that flashy demo and actual adoption? We've all seen the massive hype and those pilot programs that look like absolute magic, but most of these projects are just collapsing before they ever see real-world, everyday use by employees. It's a huge, expensive problem. Well, the reason for this failure might actually surprise you. The industry is waking up to this hard truth. Companies do not need more demos. They need professionals who can bridge the gap between business chaos and technical implementation. The root cause of AI failure right now isn't a lack of incredible tech. It's a severe lack of translation. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is exactly how we'll unpack this paradox today. 1. The enterprise AI paradox. 2. What is an FDE? 3. Traditional versus forward deployed. 4. Core FDE responsibilities. And 5. Why BAs and PMs win. All right, Section 1, the enterprise AI paradox. For a while, everyone just assumed, hey, buy access to a powerful AI model and boom, instant business transformation. But the messy reality of enterprise AI is way different. We're talking decades-old legacy systems, data fragmented all over the place, strict security constraints, and operational silos that just won't budge. An LLM doesn't magically know which of your company's data is actually trustworthy, or what outputs might trigger a massive compliance nightmare. It's just a model. So it boils down to this. AI models alone cannot solve these enterprise problems. This is exactly why those pilots that look flawless in a controlled boardroom demo literally fall apart the second they hit deployment. To cross that gap between a cool demo and actual business value, you absolutely have to have a human bridge. Which brings us to Section 2. What is an FDE?
So what is it? A forward-deployed AI engineer, or FDE, is a hybrid translator engineer who converts business ambiguity into deployable, useful AI systems. They're sitting right at that chaotic intersection of business strategy, tech, and daily operations. Because companies are bleeding money on failed pilots, demand for this role has just completely exploded. The crucial point is, their job isn't merely building an AI system, it's making AI actually useful.
Moving on to Section 3, traditional versus forward deployed. You know, there's a big misconception here. A traditional AI engineer focuses primarily on model implementation, right? Usually working internally on centralized platforms. A solutions architect might design the high-level system, but rarely touches the code or handles day-to-day user adoption. But a forward-deployed AI engineer, they literally do it all. They focus on solving business problems with AI, getting right in the trenches with stakeholders to figure out what actually needs fixing before a single line of code is written. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive difference in their goals. While a traditional AI engineer optimizes technical performance, like, say, building the perfect recommendation engine, the FDE optimizes operational outcomes. They make sure that engine actually fits the workflow, clears security policies, gets adopted by employees, and drives real ROI. They own the whole shebang. All right, let's get into the day-to-day. Section 4, core FDE responsibilities. So what do they actually do? The FDE operational pipeline generally hits 4 steps. First, AI solution discovery, finding the real pain points and asking if AI is genuinely the right move. Second, AI system design. Third, technical implementation. And yes, that means writing Python code, integrating APIs, building RAG pipelines, that's retrieval augmented generation, letting the AI safely read private company data. And finally, step 4, deployment and iteration. But here is a really harsh truth you have to understand. Sometimes the correct answer is knowing when not to use AI. During that discovery phase, strong FDEs possess the highly valuable judgment to look at a problem and say, hey, let's just use simple workflow automation here, or let's just design a better process. They won't force a complex, expensive AI solution where it just doesn't belong. Honestly, that judgment alone saves companies millions. But make no mistake, when AI is the right answer, the technical chops required are very real. FDEs have to integrate APIs, build orchestration layers, and set up vector database pipelines. And crucially, they handle AI safety and governance. That means building hallucination guardrails, designing fallback mechanisms, and constantly tracking production behavior. It's a really intense mix of real engineering and safety oversight.
Which leads us to a massive opportunity. Section 5. Why BAs and PMs win.
Listen closely to this. Enterprise AI is primarily a coordination challenge, not just a coding challenge. People assume AI engineering is strictly for hardcore software devs. That is totally outdated. Experienced business analysts and project managers already possess half the necessary skills to absolutely dominate this FDE role right out of the gate. Let's look at their natural superpowers. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is Superpower 1, requirement decomposition. When a stakeholder vaguely says we want AI to reduce fraud, a purely technical engineer might stall out. But a BA naturally translates that ambiguity. They ask, which fraud types? What's our acceptable latency? What are the compliance risks? Breaking vague business goals into solvable technical workflows is literally a business analyst's natural habitat. Then there's Superpower 2, stakeholder communication. Enterprise AI touches everybody. You have to align leadership, navigate the strict maze of security and legal departments, and manage developers and end users. Sound familiar? Navigating that cross-functional chaos is the daily reality for project managers, and it's an absolute make or break for AI transformation. Next up, Superpower 3, process thinking. Remember, AI does not create value in isolation. It only creates value when it's cleanly embedded into an actual workflow. BAs and PMs already excel at identifying operational friction, spotting dependencies, and tracking business KPIs. That makes process thinkers the absolute perfect AI orchestrators.
And finally, Superpower 4, customer empathy. The absolute best forward-deployed AI engineers act a lot like seasoned business consultants. They obsess over user friction and removing adoption barriers. They look at real ROI and completely ignore vanity model benchmarks that don't translate to business value. They care much more about solving human problems than pure technical achievements.
So if you take nothing else away from this explainer, remember this. The FDE is the difference between an AI experiment and an AI transformation. We are officially out of the sandbox. The first wave was all experimentation, but the wave happening right now, we're squarely in the implementation era. It is entirely about deployment, integration, reliability, and measurable business outcomes. Which leaves us with one final vital question for you. Are you ready to become the translator your enterprise desperately needs? If you're an ambitious professional watching this, the demand for this specific hybrid skill set is just off the charts right now. You have this incredible opportunity to take your process skills, learn the technical execution layer, and step into one of the most high-demand, impactful roles in tech today. The gap between demo and adoption is wide open. Are you going to bridge it?